How's it going, guys? We're here, straight out of the theater. It's really loud. There's hardly anything left in there. So, today we're going to be talking about the film The Nice Guys, which is a film I've been looking forward to for quite a while, and I have to say, it's really good. If you don't know what The Nice Guys is, it's about an enforcer type gentleman played by Russell Crowe, or he goes by Messenger, um, and he is looking for this girl, or he is paid to beat up a PI played by Ryan Gosling, who is looking for a girl, and as a result, they find this breadcrumb of trails leading to a sort of mystery surrounding a porno, and it's a whole big conspiracy or something. It's not a conspiracy, but it's pretty close. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. So, is the movie good? Yes, it's very good. Is it solid? Yes. Um, does it try new things? Yes, it does. The film it takes place in the 1970s, and it is a sort of homage slash also, like, sometimes it makes fun of those movies. Um, it's a homage to 70s films, crime films, buddy cop films, stuff like that. And I think it does very well at being a homage. It captures, like, the 70s, not only in aesthetic, but in every aspect. The action is very 70s. It feels like the 70s. If you slap a film grain on there, I would believe it was the 70s if Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe were the age they were now in the 70s. Um, it's really good at being what it is. It's really good at being this comedy, action, mystery film. Um, and the performances were fantastic. Russell Crowe was fantastic as his character, the enforcer type character who has a heart of gold. He's got layers to him, and it's really lovely to see, especially in a film that whenever it was marketed, you didn't really you thought the characters were gonna kind of be a joke, but they end up being these really deep, interesting characters that you love. Or also, Ryan Gosling is an alcoholic PI with a daughter, and he's also got layers, and it's really interesting to see. Um, the only problem with the film is that occasionally it has something, and occasionally it'll start to lead up to it, and it won't quite go exactly the way you're hoping it would go. Um, for instance, they mention Ryan Gosling's got he can't smell. So you're like, okay, that's going to come into play somewhere in the movie. But they mention it again once, and it adds to his backstory, but it's not very well merged in other than that. But other than that, yeah, all the performances are great. I would single out a bad guy, but there's too many to single out. Keith David's a bad guy. Um, there's several other bad guys. There's 2, 3, 4 extra other bad guys, and none of them really take the main stage. But they work instead as, like, almost like video game bosses there's like one big guy and you're like, oh snap, this is the bad guy, and then it gets bigger and you're like, oh snap, this is the bad guy, and it gets like a little bit further and then you're like, oh, this is the bad guy, and it keeps progressing through these bad guys, which is really interesting to see. It's almost like a really short TV show or something, but it's very well done. All the villains, the antagonists are well developed. They're interesting. They're fun to see, and they all play important parts. No one feels unnecessary. Um, Another person I was surprised to see do as well as she did was the girl who played Ryan Gosling's daughter. Um, she did a great job. She never really felt unnecessary. I mean, she was an interesting character. She was a little bit different. At times, she could be annoying, but like once or twice tops. Um, the music was great. Occasionally, they would throw in like, "Oh, here's an Earth, Wind, and Fire song, and here's another song, here's another song from the '70s." But it also had its own original soundtrack, which was really good. Um, and it all, once again, that's another thing that they used to help capture the feel of the '70s. Is the music matched the time period. Just everything matched the time period. The action was so '70s. The plot was like a little bit, um, could be occasionally hard to follow, but it was '70s. I mean, it matched, all these like complicated plots, but it was easy enough to follow. That's the thing, was that it was complicated, and the user, or the not the user, the viewer had to think a little bit. Okay, this is what's going on. Okay, and it would get explained through dialogue, and you'd follow them, and you'd be like, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. And they don't dumb it down. Um, to anything stupid like they do in every movie, it seems to be. They just like, they say what's going on, and you're like, okay, I got it. All right. um, and it works very well, just all together as a whole movie. um, I give this movie, from my critical standpoint, a 9 out of 10, and from how much I liked it, my own personal enjoyment of the movie, solid 10 out of 10. Um, and that's straight out of the movie theaters. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.